Today at 12, we have new developments in the case of one of the two people charged in the kidnapping of a Hot Springs teenager back in April. What court documents show in less than 1 minute. Alcohol-induced deaths are on the rise here in the U.S. At 12:17, we share more on the community doctors say are at risk for very rapid death. And the holiday season is now in full swing, and we've got information that you can get your hands on. How about this? A Hollywood holiday movie. And it's going to be fantastic right here on THV 11. Those details coming up in about 20 minutes. But first, I'm joined by meteorologist Nathan Scott. Nathan, I'm glad we're talking about cooler temperatures and no threat of severe weather. Much different than yesterday.
Yeah, cold front has made its way through, Hayden, so we've seen lots of sunshine out there, but it is much cooler compared to what we saw yesterday when temperatures climbed up into the upper 60s to lower 70s across parts of the area. Here's visible satellite, and the numbers still have not hit 50 degrees for many spots. Still into the 30s in Harrison and Mountain Home. It's 47 in Russellville, 45 in Pine Bluff, and 48 in Arkadelphia. Those winds are coming in from the north-northeast about 10 to 15 miles per hour. It does add a little bite to the air, especially in North Arkansas, where those feels-like numbers are still right around freezing. We'll see plenty of sunshine out there today, and we got lucky here in the natural state yesterday because look at all the severe storm reports from Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, added up to over 200 reports yesterday, and then there were 39 reports of tornadoes from Louisiana, Mississippi into Alabama. That severe weather threat well off to the east. For us here in the natural state, we'll see plenty of sun, but temperatures will be unseasonably cool for this time of year. Upper 40s to low 50s is what you can expect. Enjoy the sunshine today because it will be fading away. Clouds move in for your Thursday. Along with that, the chance of rain eventually returns to the forecast. More on that forecast coming up.
All right, Nathan, thank you. We are now learning more about the severe storms that wreaked havoc across multiple states, as Nathan had just mentioned. We now have confirmation of a tornado strike in Mississippi that was part of that dangerous system, forcing many to shelter in place. Louisiana, Alabama, and Tennessee also in the danger zone, and Manuel Bajorquez is in Utah, Alabama with the very latest.
Overnight, a ferocious downpour over Starkville, Mississippi. Police and first responders blocked off a rain-soaked street in the eastern part of the state where county officials say several shoppers were temporarily trapped inside a damaged grocery store.
Even in the midst of tragedy, God's working.
And in Steens, a late-night tornado ripped trees from their roots and left these homes in tatters.
I mean, literally. That.
And in Lowndes County, this fire department wasn't spared. It took a hit with its roof being torn off. That tornado, just one of many reported, and part of a dangerous system that whipped up continuous heavy winds. And quarter-sized hail fell across parts of the South. In Memphis, police and crews were busy all night. Intense rain caused enough accidents to litter highways and streets. Several of those crashes caused by slick roads and hydroplaning. In Caldwell Parish, Louisiana, at least 2 people were injured in a reported tornado strike that destroyed several homes.
There is a report of 2 storm-related deaths in Montgomery County, Alabama. Today, National Weather Service teams will be out assessing damage and trying to determine the strength of the tornadoes. Manuel Bajorquez, CBS News, Utah, Alabama.
New at noon, the man charged with kidnapping a 17-year-old Hot Springs teenager pleads guilty to charges of kidnapping and conspiracy to commit kidnapping in federal court. 38-year-old Samuel Wayne Bowling Jr. entered his guilty pleas to both counts, each punishable by a minimum of 20 years to life in prison and a fine of up to $250,000. 20-year-old De La Ferrer also pled guilty in the same court to the single count of kidnapping, while the conspiracy count was withdrawn as a part of her plea agreement. Now in June, both Bowling and Ferrer were indicted on charges by a federal grand jury in Hot Springs. In a THV 11 update, the woman accused of causing a disturbance on a flight that had to be diverted to Little Rock remains in custody today. Elam Abegnanu appeared in federal court on Tuesday, but the case is currently stalled after she claimed that she wasn't aware of the charges being brought against her. Prosecutors want a mental evaluation before filing charges, but the woman is refusing. Now, we first shared you this story on Saturday night when investigators say she confronted flight attendants on a Southwest flight before allegedly trying to bite someone and had to be restrained by attendants and passengers. The right for same-sex and interracial couples to marry took center stage on Capitol Hill yesterday. Senate lawmakers voted on a key measure to ensure such unions are protected under federal law following weeks of bipartisan negotiations. Senate lawmakers voted to approve the Respect for Marriage Act, ensuring same-sex and interracial marriages are recognized in every state. The Senate-passed bill now goes to the House for passage before going to the White House for President Biden's signature. Staying in Washington, D.C., the immigration debate made it to the High Court on Tuesday. The main issue is whether the Biden administration can set priorities for immigration enforcement and whether states can legally challenge them. Texas and Louisiana sued the federal government and won a nationwide district court order from a Trump-appointed judge to limit immigration officers' discretion over deportations.
Administrations since 1976, both Republican and Democratic administrations, have said that this is a long-standing tradition that given the limited resources, you must give discretion to law enforcement to decide how it's going to expend that.
There are roughly 11 million people in the U.S. illegally, and DHS has about 6,000 interior enforcement officers. Well, time is running out to prevent a nationwide rail strike, and that has the Biden administration and Congress scrambling to find common ground. Nicole D'Antoni has the latest from the White House.
With the rail strike looming, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says the House will vote today to adopt a tentative agreement that the administration brokered back in September.
Today, we are here to safeguard the financial security of America's families, to protect American economy as it continues to recover, and avert a devastating nationwide rail shutdown.
4 unions voted against the contract that includes a 24% raise over 5 years. Workers also want paid sick leave.
Nobody got everything they wanted in this tentative agreement, but all of the parties had to move to get there. When it was reached, it earned praise from labor, business, Democratic, and Republican leaders alike.
Senator Bernie Sanders tweeted that he intends to block the bill, saying of the paid sick leave, quote, "Please don't tell me the rail industry can't afford it." Rail companies spent $25.5 billion on stock buybacks and dividends this year. President Biden, who has always been a very strong supporter of organized labor, says intervening is a tough call, but necessary to protect the U.S. economy.
I respectfully disagree with him and how he's going about doing this, because what he's doing is taking away the members' right to strike.
A strike could start next Friday and would cost the U.S. economy at least $2 billion a day. Many supply chain disruptions are possible, including shipments of coal, lumber, and grain, and some holiday gifts. Nicole D'Antonio, CBS News, the White House.
House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy thinks the bill will pass, but says, quote, "It's unfortunate that this is how we're running our economy today. If you're passing a bill to force the rail workers to work, how strong is your economy?" End quote. Moving on, the founder of the far-right organization The Oath Keepers is now facing more than 20 years in prison. A federal jury found Stuart Rhodes guilty of seditious conspiracy in connection to the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. Another member of the group was also found guilty on that charge. This is the most serious charge to come out of the January 6th insurrection. In total, 5 defendants were found guilty on lesser charges of obstruction of an official proceeding and aiding and abetting for their actions on January 6th. They'll all face 20 years maximum in prison. Well, doctors are issuing a new health alert for seniors, what you and your family need to know when the news at noon returns.
And on this Wednesday, we're enjoying plenty of sunshine across central Arkansas, but clouds and also more rain returns to the forecast. I'll have more on the timing and let you know if the weekend will be a washout coming up.